What's happening, muchachos y muchachas? Um, I'm excited to be back with another episode. Welcome to If Whiskey Talks. I'm your host and leader and messiah that will lead you to the lands of nowhere. We're not going anywhere. We're here. Um, and if you're listening to this, congratulations. Right off the bat, we're going to talk about it. If you're hearing this, if you're listening, if you're contributing to my views and my listens, you've made it so far through what I think is probably one of the scariest things that we've faced in a while. We are facing something I think is movie-like. It's finally here in our backyard, and it doesn't get scarier than that. So I hope you guys are washing your hands as we speak, because the coronavirus is out to get us all. COVID-19. It's been a pretty scary ride for some people. And, a month ago we were looking at it and we were seeing it as something that wasn't going to happen to us, something that we thought was going to stay overseas. And in a matter of a day, it's here and it's scary. But just a matter of being safe out there, everybody. I do hope you guys are, on top of washing your hands and whatever and whatnot, wiping everything down. It's been 2-3 weeks, and that is due to me being on sort of a vacation. I don't apologize. Nobody listens to this anyway. So, the first Friday I was out in Chicago. Unfortunately, it was an All-Star weekend, which a lot of shit went down during All-Star weekend. But I was there the weekend after, so I was kind of there to clean up the mess. But it was a great time. Went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and man, it was pretty cold out there. It was nice. Chicago has become one of those cities where I might look into living in the future. It's such a nice city. I love it. Scale wise, it's pretty big, but I don't think it's too big. It doesn't seem very big to me, which is good. I love it though because it's clean. It's fun. It's a nice city. I really enjoyed it. Food, obviously the music. Some of the most influential people on this planet came from there, which reminds me, it's pretty sad. We went down to go see Kanye's house finally, because the first time I didn't get to go, but the second time, last time we went down there and to see Kanye's house. First of all, the neighborhood that South Side and everything, South Shore Drive, it didn't seem as sketchy as I thought it was gonna be. Of course, we went in the middle of the day, but it didn't seem very rough. We drove up to Kanye's house, and there was some Mexicans outside working on it. So that was pretty sad. We don't know if Kanye himself was send people out there to remodel it, or if he sold it. For those of you who don't know, Kanye was going to use that house as kind of like a shelter for arts, for kids to go to kind of like a creative space for children in the South Side. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, and it just sucked to not be able to see his house as it was, But then after Chicago, came home Monday. Tuesday was my birthday, golden birthday. Turned 25 on the 25th. The 25th, we went ahead and started a road trip out towards Colorado. It took us roughly about 24 hours. Turned a 16-hour ride into 24 hours. And let me tell you, it's not fun going on a road trip with dogs. As much as I love them, they behaved pretty well, but having to stop and just all the nonsense stuff. But it was a nice trip. Went out to Grand Lake, Colorado, where there was a frozen lake. We stayed about a block from it, and it was a different world, man. It was magnificent. You know, going from Chicago City and everything, which I love, which I want to live in, to Colorado out, we were looking at 4 or 5 feet of snow on the floor, falling into it, and everything was just, it was pretty awesome. There was no snow forecasted while we were there, but luckily it actually snowed the first night we were there into the morning, and man, it's definitely breathtaking. I'd advise you guys to go visit, man. Go see that during the winter. It's a hassle getting driving there and everything, but it was definitely a fun time, and I enjoyed it. But enough of that as far as where I've been. I didn't have much plans on what to talk about just because I've been gone for a while and it feels like I'm doing this for the first time all over again. But I'm definitely happy to be back. As you can see, I'm here by myself again. Co-host decided to take another day off, another week off. I hate this. I feel like I need to be talking every single second of this, but I don't think it's necessary. Sometimes I think I talk a little bit too fast. I'm terrible at this, and I'm gonna quit. I'm really over it. If you notice, I'm a little sick. I've been sick since Sunday, but thankfully it's not the coronavirus, which I wouldn't know because apparently we're not funding the testing kits to have enough. It's pretty scary. Last time I read earlier today, we were at 5. Well, earlier Friday, I read we were at 5 cases, which is pretty scary. Those 5 people contaminate another 5 people, and it's all downhill from there. Because clearly we haven't really quite figured out the way to slow it down. It's just continuing to go. And what did I tell y'all? I told you guys, I don't know what was episode 2? I told you guys it was coming and it was gonna be here, and next thing you know, it's here. And I told y'all it was bound to happen. Pretty scary to think about, but yeah, it's definitely here. It's crazy. It's finally hit the 6 digits, and the death rate doesn't seem so much when they say it's only like at 3%, but it's still something to think about. It's not very it's not very good. Just trying to look up some information. Colorado 4 hours ago just got 8 people that tested positive. 8. That's incredible. And that's just in a matter of a day. And of course, it's probably some asshole white guy who was on a cruise ship. Of course. He's a parent at a Catholic school, Episcopal. I don't know. In Denver, the school closed early Friday after learning about the possible exposure. He was also a travel companion of Douglas County woman who tested presumptive positive. What does that even mean? Why are these people all old who get this? This man was 40. This lady was 70. Another lady was 70. Another lady was 40. Oh, and then there's a female. And then a 50-year-old and a 40-year-old. What is that? Why is it getting old people? I don't know. Well, anyways, if you haven't heard what to do. You need to wash your hands with soap, obviously. 20 seconds, use hand sanitizer. Don't touch your face. Man, I am the worst. I probably touched my face 100 times so far since I've started this. But, you need to not touch your face. Stay away from people who are sick. Luckily, I don't have anything serious. I'm actually coming down from it. I was a lot worse on Monday. But, I think it's just from the snow and wet and cold. So that's what I'm hoping. It says to stay home when you're sick. I went to work on Monday. I left like a half a day, and I went right back to work the other day. And I've been at work all week sick. So who knows? I might have gotten other people sick. I might be dying as we speak, and nobody would even know. But speaking of work, I was gonna tell you guys. This is my financial sector of the podcast. Cue the business news music. I don't know what it sounds like. This just in: the Federal Reserve has cut the national rate once again. Just a little FYI. I know some of you guys might not pay much mind to it. Some of you might not be in the position to want to pull out a loan or buy a home or anything. But if you are, the national rate, which they call the prime rate right now, is low right now. They just cut it recently. The Federal Reserve did, and what that does, it bumps down the rate on loans, which people are saying that the mortgage rates at the moment are the lowest they've been in years. So if you know somebody who's wanting to buy a home or anything like that, now would be the time, because those rates are really low. It's pretty crazy to see. The only bad thing about it is, like, if you have accounts with interest rates, those interest rates are dropping too, which, a lot of people, it's a hit or miss. If you're looking to make money on your money, those rates going down and everything, which, with the stock market and everything as well, that's been taking a bad hit and everything. There I go, touching my face. I'm gonna die. Stock market's been bad, and but with the rates being cut by the Federal Reserve, deposit rates, as far as interest rates you're earning on your checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, CDs that you deposited, those are all probably going to lose some money. So now it's not a good time to look for any of that. But as far as buying a home, taking out a loan or anything like that, now would be the time. Let me know. I could help you with that. Moving on. Tonight I actually, I've never always been. I've heard this term called CUDA, from somebody before, and what it means is, a barracuda, what it does is attracted to shiny things. So instead of calling somebody a follower, we can call them a CUDA, a barracuda. And tonight I unfortunately was a CUDA. I popped on, as you often talking about, the Bad Bunny album. So here's my view, and as most of you know, I'm not a reggaeton. I'm not a Spanish music person, but I went ahead and I was like, let me just see, what can happen. Let me just check it out. So I popped that bad boy in, and I was impressed. The first song came on, the beat was nice. I wasn't looking more at the lyrics very much, because what do all Spanish people sing about is relationships? Like, that's so overplayed already, dude. Like, there's enough of that. Talk about your designer, And knowing Bad Bunny, I've seen some of the times he's dressed, he'd be in some drip. But yeah, the first song popped off, and I was impressed. The beat, the production was pretty. It was nice. I was actually bumping to it, and then the second song came on, and that was the end for me. I don't. I just can't do this whole reggaeton thing. Like it's always been the worst type of music to me, aside from banda. But the whole came on. The second song came on, and I was just like, what? Like, how did I get done? It sounds like everybody has the same beat. Like they just pass the same beat around, and they're like add something to it, and then you make it your song. So it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, make it better. Make it something else. Don't make it that same beat. So that. I decided to just go ahead and go on with my night, and I threw something else on. So I didn't know what else to talk about, and this podcast is slowly becoming nothing. And I'm texting. I'm texting during my podcast because I can and I want to. Let's see what else. I sent myself something that I wanted to talk about. The election. I don't want to really talk about politics or anything, but fuck Bernie. It's how can I put this? Like, it's not that I really support Biden or anything like that, and I don't want to get into politics or whatever, but just Bernie was. I don't like him, dude. I don't like anybody who follows him or anything like that. They seem like assholes, and my dogs are annoying. Thank you. Yeah, it Bernie's just you guys. I don't know. I just feel like some of you guys just are kudas again. You guys are kudas towards Bernie because you see all the cool kids are doing it. And it's so funny that most of you cool kids didn't go vote, and that goes to show how Bernie's platform is absolutely trash because it's revolved around these dumbass kids who are on social media promoting and don't show up at the polls. So one thing that I liked about Biden is that the black community came together behind him and helped him get to where he's at right now, and I think that's going to be really important going into November to get rid of the Cheeto out of the office. And it's time, dude. That dude's a fucking idiot, man. It. Ah. I honestly can't believe that there's some people that can. I mean, people don't even agree with him. People are just dumbasses. Like, I was watching some news coverage. Prayers to Nashville with the whole tornado and everything, which is another crazy thing, dude. Like, this should happen like downtown almost area of Nashville, Tennessee. Like, it's so rare that we see a tornado in a metropolitan area, and it's 2020, man. It's an apocalypse. And like I said previously, you guys were talking about how you wanted 2020 to be a movie. Now, we might see 2020 the movie next year, talking about how the world ended. This idiot Trump wore a MAGA hat to visit Nashville and all the people that were affected during the tornado. Like, who does it? Like, who puts that in their mind to go visit somewhere where people have been affected to and promote yourself at the same time. It's so idiotic. I thought it's so white. Um, that's that. What else I got for y'all? We're doing it quick here. We're doing it quick. Today at Chick-fil-A, there's some. Okay, so Chick-fil-A where I went to was only 2 lanes. There was a lane to go to a drive-through, and a lane to go around the parking lot. And I don't understand why you people or people out there have no sense of decency, no sense of anything. Like, why would you park in the middle of the lane, get off, and go inside? I don't get how our I don't understand how the human race has survived to this day. To this day, because there's so many people that just need to go, man. So many people need to get out of here. We need to send you guys to another planet, and we need to get rid of you. Do something, because, man, I swear, you guys cannot continue on this earth. You guys are just making it something else, man. Gonna go ahead and take a break real quick, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back to this podcast. Welcome back, guys. So I forgot I want to tell you guys a story about a trip to Colorado and a trip to the worst place in my head that I've ever been in. It goes like this. Here's a little story I like to tell about 3. Just kidding. So we were in Colorado, and when in Rome, do as the Romans. So that's exactly what we did. Took a trip down to the next town and went ahead and bought some gummy bears that have magical powers. Went back to our town, went out to dinner, and believe it or not, we had Mexican up in the mountains of Colorado, and had a few margaritas. Not many, just about 2, 3, I think. And went back to our room. Now, put on the Cheer documentary or whatever with the Navarro College from Corsicana, which is really good. You guys should definitely check it out. So we both took. There was 10 in the package. There's 10 of them, 10 gummy bears, and we each took 2, and that's 4, leaving 6. Simple math. All right. And for those of you who know how these gummy bears work, they creep the fuck out of you out. Like, they creep up on you bad. So we're laying there watching this documentary, and it starts creeping in after a few minutes, an hour, and I don't know why, I started panicking. And when I say I had a conversation with myself for about an hour and a half, I don't know if that was real or if it was maybe 5 minutes. I'm laying there, and I for some reason start panicking, and I don't, it wasn't fun. I look over at Emily, and as any person who is under the influence of these gummy bears, you look at the other person and you say, "Are you feeling it?" And she's like, "No." And this is where panic starts. So we had both taken 2, and she reaches over, grabs 2 more, and she shoves them in her mouth. And at this point, in that conversation I was having with myself, I told myself she's gonna die. Like, there's no way she's gonna survive eating 4. I was already dying with 2. And dude, I was freaking out so bad. I In my head, I was telling myself, like, dude, you can't panic and you can't ask her or you can't tell her what you're feeling because then she's gonna freak the fuck out. And dude, I wanted to cry. I don't know what was happening to me. I don't know what was happening in general. And obviously, okay, she would say some things and I would laugh. And I thought she was being really hilarious. Like, she was just saying some dumb things. And it was, I was laughing my ass off. But at the same time, I was kind of panicking because she had A4. I'm like, dude, she's not going to sleep. And like, I'm going to knock out. And who's going to watch her? So I'm sitting there panicking and, just freaking out because she took 4 of them. And I don't know if I was having a seizure. Like, my body was, my hand, it was mostly my hand. My hand was doing some weird, thing by itself over here. And then we had 1 bottle of water and, I drank out of it. I put it down and 5 minutes later, I asked her, I can't find the bottle of water. And it was still right next to me. So you know that feeling, right? And I was just panicking and panicking. And here is where it gets good. I thought I shit myself. It's pretty sad to admit it, but I thought I shit myself. And I didn't know. It was a scary moment for me. It was very scary. I I was laying in bed with my hand off to the side doing whatever the fuck I was doing. I was sitting there like, oh my god, I shit myself. I know I did. And I kept having to grab my ass just to make sure I wasn't shitting myself. And, I, I, dude, I think I was more scared at that point of shitting myself than Emily dying. Just kidding. No, I'm not. But, it was, I couldn't even tell her either because I was, in my head, I was there by myself talking to myself. Nobody else was there. And it's honestly a pretty scary experience. I've never had a high like that where I was tripping out like that. I've always been really calm about it. And the idea of me shitting myself while high was just not gonna fly for me. So, I sat there what felt like 35 more days. I was sitting there. And checking myself constantly because a fart could have led to anything at that point. But then, I started feeling really bad, dude. And I feel like I turned over and looked at her slowly and I said, I don't feel good. So I get up, could barely walk to the restroom. And if you guys ever seen Scary Movie, the one where they're making fun of The Exorcist or something like that. Yeah, The Exorcist. And they're doing the what's it called? The exorcism. And she's like, they start puking at each other. That's literally what I did in the fucking toilet. I was literally throwing up chunks of fajita into the toilet, and damn, it felt bad. I hate throwing up. Throwing up is one of the worst things you can do as a human being. I don't know why we do it. I'd rather shit myself than throw up like that. And I think that's what I told myself at that point. I was like, damn, I wish I would have shit myself instead of throwing up like this because it's the worst. So then I come back out. Emily, I believe, from what I remember, was in a state of just glue. she was just laying there watching cheer, not moving and smiling. And, that's where I was trying to be. And no, here I am fucking, I was dying. I felt like I was killing myself, in my mind. So, um, yeah, that's my story about gummy bears in Colorado. Don't eat the gummy bears in Colorado because then you're gonna shit yourself or throw up. Um, the result being at the end of the night, she knocked out too, but she told me that she was actually pretty paranoid and scared because it was we were in a small town, and so that's my Colorado story. Um, having a bit of technical issues, so this podcast is probably gonna be pretty bad. It's my first podcast back and everything, so I think we're gonna go ahead and cut it short. Um, thank you guys again for if you're joining in again. Thank you so much again for joining in. If you haven't, please subscribe. Like this video, watch the rest of the other podcasts. But I'll definitely try to have a game plan together for next one. Want to have a guest on again soon. I think that's a lot of fun. But with the technical issues, I need to try to figure out. Again, it's only, I don't even know what episode is it. Let's see. It's my 6th episode. So when you're flying solo, it's kind of difficult, but it's my 6th episode. It's our 6th episode, and I think we've been pretty good so far. Like I told you, it was a podcast about everything and anything, and yet about nothing, because I believe I talked about nothing today. So that's how it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna flow. That's how we're gonna go. Next week we'll definitely try to have. I want to try to have a guest. We'll see. We'll see how I can reach out to. So stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter at Whiskey Talked. And go ahead and subscribe to us. Like I said, check out the rest of the videos. Like this one. And just go ahead and keep sending me suggestions. Stories. If you want to come on, let me know. We can set something up. Definitely, I'm not worried about bringing anybody over to go ahead and have a conversation. I want to keep rolling with it, and I don't even care if it's girls or anything. I feel like it's a fun thing a fun platform for me to go ahead and put out there, which is funny. One thing that Emily's told me before is that she thinks that everybody's gonna have a YouTube channel in the future, just like we all have an Instagram, a Twitter, Facebook. She thinks YouTube's gonna be the next big thing. She thinks we're gonna all have a YouTube channel, and this is probably how we're gonna interact with each other and follow each other's lives for the rest of our lives, through YouTube, through vlogs, podcasts. This is probably the future as we speak. And no, but that's that. Thank you guys again for joining us on If Whiskey Talked. Definitely had some whiskey today. Today's episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace. You guys hit me up. But thank you guys for listening to this podcast about nothing. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Shoot us those tweets, those emails. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.